Hey everybody, welcome back to Chord Dave Live, where we're going to talk about guitars and stuff and things. Thanks everybody who's been in the chat super early, appreciate all of that. But hey, it's Saturday night, the countdown ended. It was correct this week, which is nice. And there you go, it's over, so let's get rid of it. Yeah, Saturday night, Chord Dave Live. Cheers to you and everybody, thanks for dropping by. Let's talk about guitars and things. But first, cheers to all of you. Oh yes, what a week it's been. All kinds of things happening. Guitar world. It's been slow, but still stuff has happened, I suppose. So let's talk about it. Scott, of course, was here first. He always is. Don't know what he's doing, but he's always the number one comment. Let's have a look. Scott's here. Good to see you, Scott. Ryan was quickly on his heels. Good to see you too, Ryan. You're saying that it's still warm as hell, like August. And it was the same for you, Ryan. Well, there you go. That's nice that you guys are getting the nice weather. The rest of us would like to have some of it back, if you don't mind. That'd be super cool. That's what you get for living in Ireland, I suppose. That's what I get for living in Ireland. But yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Grandpa Joe is here, says, hello, Scott and Ryan. Hope the both of you are doing well. Beautiful day in NYC, so I'm finishing my winter preparations in the yard. There you go. Cool. Good stuff, Grandpa Joe. Always good to have you with us. Yeah, get that work done. Almost forgot to say hello to our host. Hello, Dave. I always enjoy the show. I can work around the house and listen in. Thanks, Grandpa Joe. Yeah, hope you're doing well, my friend. Always good to have you, as I said. And yeah, don't worry. I knew you meant me as well. It's all good. It's all good. Ryan picked up a nice Strat today, setting it up now. Very cool. Yeah, as I've said before, Strats are one of those I've never really found one that I loved, but hey, glad you got to pick up a cool one. So yeah, looking forward to hearing about that and checking it out for sure. Scott says he he comes to haunt you if you say his name 3 times. Is that the host of the show? Sometimes I do that actually. You're not supposed to know about it though. Ryan says they had a few. They had the new Vintage 2 in stock, but I don't really like any of them. The glass was too thick on the sticky all over the guitar. Got an American Pro 2, very cool. White tortoise pick guard. Well, there you go. Very cool. Sounds interesting. I like it. Interesting that the new Vintage 2s have sticky glass all over. That's not good. Grandpa Joe said, Brian, golf and guitars. Now that's a great day. There you go. If you're into golf and you're into guitars, that is a good day. And I agree with you guys there for sure. Ryan says there was a guy at the shop and every guitar he picked up, he'd take a piece of steel wool out of his pocket and scour the neck. He did it to 3 or 4 of them. Wow, that's a quick way to buy 3 or 4 guitars. Yeah, Jesus. I've never seen anyone do that in a store, but I guess um, I guess they didn't see him do it. Maybe they did. I don't know. But wow, that's interesting. That's going to give me nightmares. But there you go. Ryan says they drew him out. His argument, well, I do that with all my guitars, so I have to know if it's going to feel. Besides, it buffs right back to normal. That's after he stood on top of an amp to reach for a Gibson V, which he almost dropped. Yeah, I think he probably got banned from the store. I'm expecting he's not welcome there anymore. Almost as bad as me just trying to play guitar in a store. That's pretty terrible. But there you go. Oh, we don't want that angle. Let's try and get the actual camera back. Where's it? There we go. All right. I gotta be careful not to touch that cable. Scott says, Ryan, I hate humans so much. I sometimes can't believe them. Yeah, humans are the worst. They're like the worst thing on the planet for sure. Butterfly Effect is here. Good to see you, Butterfly. Hope you're doing well. And you said you'll be back in 10 minutes. Very cool. And Scott was going off to transfer the car to the shed with wheels. Interesting. It's cheaper to take my Toyota Echo off the road than it was to build a shed to sit in and watch YouTube. Well, there you go. That's one way of looking at it, I suppose. More comfy. The car is my office and living room. But you know, if it works, it works. That's for sure. Good stuff, guys. Glenn Bailey's here. It's always a good time when Glenn Bailey pops up. So glad to have you here, Glenn. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Interesting work you were doing on your guitar today. This week, not today. This week, I saw it on Instagram. Good stuff from you there. Let me see what else we've got. Scott says, I had my Rode NT1 fail on me today. Yeah, technical failures happen on this channel all the time. You may have just seen one. Right, says, damn, the trem bar on the Strat is fun as hell. I've never had one aside from a Bigsby. Interesting. There you go. Yeah, it's my only Strat really. I don't think I've ever had another Strat. Is the Harley Benton one that I have. Probably hasn't left its case in a year. It's a really nice guitar. I should play it more, but yeah, I don't know. It's just part of. I'll take it out this week. I will. You're inspiring me to, Ryan, I think. So we'll have to have a look at it. Glenn says, I've been watching Carl's channel, Dave's brother. It's pretty good, and I don't even care about movies. Well, thanks, Glenn. Yeah, he will appreciate it. He's been getting a lot more views lately, and it's going well. So yeah, he just talks shit about movies. As like I talk shit about guitars. So if you like him, if you like movies at all, you'll probably like this channel, so you should check it out. Scott says, I've never screwed mine into mine yet. And I hope you're talking about guitars and tremolo arms and stuff. Brian says, it's floating, so two-way, I guess it would be. That's a good recommendation. I'll have to check it out for myself now. That's from Scott as well. Talk about Carl's channel. Yeah, absolutely. Check it out if you can. I think there's a link in the description. If not, I'll put one in. I have to go find it and then I'll put it in. Ben Allmark's here. Good to see you, Ben. Says, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing well, sir. Thanks for joining us. Ryan says, yeah, Glenn, it's a good channel. Funny how alike they are. Uh-oh. We do share a lot of the same views. And we also have very different views on other things. So it's interesting. We both went to see Black Adam yesterday. It was decent. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't bad. Although I do think it should be legal to go up and slap someone who uses their phone in the cinema. I think that's not allowed, but it should be allowed. Yeah, especially when I'm trying to enjoy the movie. But there you go. Glenn says, I don't use a trem arm on my Strat once in a while I'm a hardtail kind of guy. There you go. Yeah, hardtails are the way to go, I think. Anyways, let's see what we got here. Ryan says, the arm in the case and forget about it. Still fun for now though. Yeah, put it there so that it's there when you resell it. That's what I do. My PRS came with one and yeah, it's in the case or the gig bag. And will remain there, I'd imagine. Andrew Collins, good to see you, says, just purchased the Line 6 Helix. Love it. Very cool. Yeah. Haven't picked one of those up yet, but I believe they're very cool. So glad you're loving it. That's super cool, Andrew. Thanks for dropping in with us. Glenn says, 2 minutes down, 35 to go if the counter is anything like last week. Hey, listen, stuff happens, all right? We got it working at some point. So it was pretty on the ball this time, which I was happy about. Yeah, good stuff. Let me see what else we got. So Ryan says, how do you like it, Andrews? Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out. Ben says, Dave's late to his own party. Dave's always late to everything. It's just how it goes, part of the plan. Yeah, Eric says, hey everyone, and hey Dave. Hey Eric, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you are doing super well. Let me see, just before I get in too far, I just want to remind you guys about some testing I'm doing on the channel. So just in case you didn't know, occasionally I'm doing some live videos. This is the thumbnail from the video I did on Thursday. It's probably the worst thumbnail I've done in the last 6 months, but there you go. Fender Mod Shop finally comes to Europe. Well, if you live in Germany or France or the UK, you can buy a Fender Mod Shop guitar now. They don't let those of us who are in Ireland buy them, so that sucks, but hey, what can you do? But yeah, check out the video. I'm going to keep doing live stream videos every once in a while. They won't be like every week, but they will be maybe every second week or every once in a while. If you like them, make sure to hit the like button on those videos in particular and stuff like that. So it's just a little thing I'm playing with to see if YouTube kind of bumps up the channel a little bit. It's doing quite well for the last month or so. So hopefully it'll keep doing so. There should be some other content coming soon. And of course, if you want more 3-Chord Dave live or more 3-Chord Dave just in general in your life, there will be Patreon content starting from next week going live. You can join the Patreon now. The stuff is starting to go live next week. So the link's in the description below. You can find out all about it. And of course, if you stick with it for 3 months, you can get yourself one of these mugs that says Chord Dave rocks my world. So if you're into that, check it out. If you're not into that, that's cool too. Don't worry about it. There's no I'm not going to push it too much, but I will mention it every now and then. The first 3 months, you will get a personalized video. I'm going to be recording those tomorrow, by the way, because some of you have signed up and you're probably wondering, where's my video? You probably get it tomorrow. So yeah, I have it all planned out for tomorrow. So promise you, I'm trying. So yeah, we'll get you get that, and if you want to know anything else, you can reach out to me or just check it out. Check out the link in the description. Glenn says, where's Al? I want to hear more about that SG I saw him with on Instagram earlier this week. Yes, that indeed looked like a very nice SG. I think he last week told us it was a 61 reissue. So yeah, I want to know how he's feeling with it. Very cool thing indeed. See what else we got. Benny Larson's here. Good to see you, Benny. Hope you're doing well. Says, hello guys, how have you been? Very busy and quite good. Pretty good week actually there, Benny. So yeah, hope you are doing well also. Scott says, Helix is so awesome that it's still good. It must be 19 years old now, isn't it? Probably, yeah. That's don't make me do math on the live show. Richard Clark says, wait, Dave who? I thought this was Penny the Talking Cat going live. I mean, we can make that happen. Pretty sure. So, Richard Clark, thank you so much for joining us. Always fun to have you in the chat with us. Let's see what else we got. Hi, Dave. Hi, Scott. Hi, Penny. Interesting. Matt Van Bosch is here. Good to see you, Matt. Says, hi, Dave. Have you plugged that clone in yet? Keeps lurking in the background. No. I'm kind of scared of it, to be honest. Because, you know, AliExpress electronics scared the life out of me. So I haven't plugged it in. I will one of these days. I thought about doing it the other day to make a video about it because I had a little bit of time. And then I didn't. So there you go. That was my thought process. I was like, I could do it. Maybe not. I read a book instead. So I'm trying to build up the courage because I don't want it to blow up my house. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm like 55% sure it'll be fine. Like 36%. Sure it'll be fine. Todd Moore is here. He says, I joined the chat and the first words I hear Dave say are thick and sticky. Yeah. I actually had a conversation that was kind of along those lines earlier today. It's weird. Anyway, good to see you, Todd. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for dropping in. Todd is here. And who else? We got Ryan says, I can't figure out how to take the trem arm off now. Damn it. It's there forever. You gotta learn to love it. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But Andrew Collins says, that's the crazy thing I ever heard of someone looking at guitars. They should have kicked him out. Yeah. I think Ryan said they did kick him out. Unbelievable. Scott says, Dave, have you seen any snippets of the Weird Al biopic? I haven't. I've been I try to stay away from like trailers and clips and stuff like that from movies now because I find they give away the best parts these days, which I don't know why they do it, but they do because they're assholes. But yeah, it's one I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully it'll be. Is it on one of the streamers or something, or is it going to be in theaters? Not sure, but looking forward to it. That'll be a fun one. Let's see what else we got here. Ryan says, yeah, they did kick him out, but they stood there for about 10 minutes in disbelief. I mean, you would. You would. I mean, who brings steel wood to scour the neck of a guitar? I don't know. For that guy. What a guy. All right. Let's see what we got here. Scott says, what's everyone's favorite headstock? Mine, the Epiphone Batwing. I gotta say, I'm quite partial to the Epiphone Kalamazoo headstock, which is the newer one on it. So let me see. We've got we've got that one. I do like the Gibson one. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. Is it the Schecter one? Like fits the top of the Gibson one. It's like the reverse of it. I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, that would be it, I suppose. Yeah, probably. Anyway, Murphy's Flab says, yo, good to see you, Murphy's Flab. just enjoy that name. It's so good. Glenn Bailey says, I can't believe that guy is allowed in any stores. They should post a pic of him and send it to all shops. Me? I'm not allowed in guitar shops anymore. That's why I shop online almost exclusively. But if you mean the guy with scarring the necks, yeah, he shouldn't be allowed either. I'm not banned from guitar shops, actually. At least not that I know. I might be banned from the Gibson garage. I don't know. We'll have to test that out at some point next year. Let me see, we got Marcia's here. Good to see you, Marcia. I hope you are well. Feeding my Huey and posting the feed to Twitter. Very cool. Better see lots of like when I return, or else, oh guys, you better get those likes up. Marcia's gonna be on the rampage. Otherwise, good to see you, Marcia. Hope you're well. Richard says, Weird Al bio, that's awesome. I hope they call it the World Accordion to Al. That would be fun. I don't think they are, but there you go. Very good. Scott with the link there for the mod shop video if you do want to catch it. You didn't catch it live. Very cool. By the way, yeah, if you do miss the lives, I'm going to put them at different times than, say, this live stream goes out, so that people who are maybe, you know, not around when the normal live shows go in might get a chance to catch the live show. So that's going to happen. So check it out if you do see them. I'll usually give about 15 minutes notice that they're going up and go live then. So keep an eye on your notifications. Best thing to do, hit subscription. Hang on, let me say this correctly. Hit the subscribe button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification button and make sure you have all notifications turned on, because otherwise you might miss out on the live videos when they happen. So make sure you're subscribed. It's the most important thing you do. There's a message or a thing I can check here on YouTube and Studio, and shows me that lots of people are watching the channel, but they're not subscribed. So just hit that subscribe button and be one of the subscribers. They're the cool people. And also you have to be subscribed to use the chat in the live stream. So make sure you do that for me, please. And I know all you cool people who are in the chat, you've all subscribed, and thank you so much. Let me see what else we've got here. What was that? Strangely, to Scott Bogfoot, my favorite headstock is a large Fender stolen from Bigsby. It was Stratocaster type. I'm just that weird. I've seen all kinds of guitars with that. I had an Explorer shaped Lotus with it. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, the big Fender headstock is up there, I think, because it's iconic, and that's what everyone thinks of when they think of guitar headstock, really. That's a cool one. Todd, yeah, appreciate that. Todd says the Epi Batwing is pretty epic too. It is cool though. It is cool. I have to give it that. Better than Starcasters, Todd. Better than Starcasters, indeed. Glenn says, today my Strat has one of those 70s style headstock, big and odd looking. I mean, that's Strats for you. That's what they look like. Todd says, Glenn, I love them, especially on a natural ash bodied Strat, but I'd likely never play one. There you go. Ash, yeah, natural bodies are pretty cool. I like those a lot. Even on guitars. Anyway, moving on. SB, evening. I'm 35% of battery from my phone, so I'll have to plug it in earlier. Oh, and the cab price is $279 without the Celestian, so I'll save up for some months because I'm a hobo like that. There you go. It's not a bad price though, because that's for like a boutique custom one, I think you were getting, right? That's pretty bad. Or it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know why I said it's pretty bad. I meant to say it's not bad. But there you go. Anyway, good stuff, SB. Always glad to have you in the chat with us. He said, maybe I'll do some croc-looking Tolex or stain it like a Mesa Boogie. Yeah, either way, that'd be cool. Scott says, Dave, you have to show the insides of the clone. Yeah, I could do that. I think so. I think it's just regular. What is it? Yeah, it's just Phillips heads, so I could do that. No problem. I could probably do it now. No, I can't. So I'll who's been here stealing my tools? I put them away. So yeah. Anyway, I'll do it. That's when I do the video. I love black guitars. Says, I won't say hello, so Dave doesn't have to say my name. You know what you're doing, Glenn. You know what you're doing. Peter Geo, good to see you, Peter. Hope you're doing well. Says, hey Dave, loving the show. I have a telly and looking to get a second guitar with a different sound. Gibson LP Junior. Any thoughts or recommendation? They seem reasonable, especially second hand. Yeah, Gibson LP Juniors are pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the SG. So I would test one of those out as well, see how you feel with it if you can get to a store. the story is, and I think the guys have heard this from me so much, but I didn't think I would like SGs. I was always thought I was a Les Paul person, and then I got my first SG because I got a really good deal on it, and I loved it. Fell in love with SGs. They're my favorite guitars. So yeah, we'll try an SG if you can. Big fan of the Epiphone SG Special with P90s. Which is, I think, about 350 euros at the minute. So yeah, check those out. They're really cool. But good to have you, Peter. Thanks for joining us. Ben Allmark says, favorite headstock for me is the bikini looking Epiphone one, like on the Wilshire, Cornet, etc. Yeah, it's actually called the bikini bottom logo. So that's cool enough reason for liking that one. I dig that one myself. That's very cool. Scott says, hey Peter, can't go wrong with an LPJ. Les Paul Juniors are cool. People like them. I'm a fan of them. I will probably pick one up at some point. Yeah, I do like them. It's not the first thing I want to add to my collection, but there you go. What's new? Everything. I kind of want to add everything, but it's on the list for sure. Todd Moore, I'm not reading that comment. David Ruiz says, greetings everyone, good to have you, David, hope you're well. Glenn says, an LPJ, some of the best rock was made on an LP Junior. Yeah, I mean, Keith Richards plays one every show, so you know, there you go, good enough reason to have an Les Paul Junior. Glenn says, I like the Explorer and Firebird headstock. You would, sir, you would. Yeah, they're cool though. They are cool. Benny says, remember to hit the like. Indeed. Thank you, sirs. And thank you everybody who has hit the like. That is very cool. Let's see what else we got here. Richard says, yep, I got to go with a bikini Epiphone headstock as well, or any Gretsch. Gretsch do have a pretty decent one when they put the cursive spaghetti logo on it. Yeah, I can buy that. That's cool, yeah. Mer says, okay, I'm back. Now you can proceed to get the party started. I mean, we were waiting for you. Now you're here. All good stuff. I like that indeed. Let me see what we got. Glenn says, I do like the headstock on the Rickenbacker bases. Okay, cool. Yeah, guess they're okay. Not bad, not bad. Scott says, I confess I steal all the number 2 Phillips and 10mm sockets. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I was doing some IKEA stuff during the week, so... And I honestly, stuff could be anywhere. Murphy's Lab says, what's better than eating a mandarin? I'm just gonna not read the rest of that, but I like it. I like where you're going. Anyway, just if anyone missed it, you can make your own jokes. It's all good. Thanks for that, Murphy's Lab. I appreciate it. Grant says, good move, Scott. Beer and tools don't mix. Yeah, they do. That's crazy. Grandpa Joe says, hello, Glenn Bailey. Hope you're doing well. Don't be encouraging him. Grandpa Joe. Speaking of beer and or alcohol and tools, yeah, a couple of years ago, my dad did manage to chop off most of his finger with a saw. So maybe you have a point, but anyway, not learning from other people's mistakes, I'm going to keep them around. So Ryan says, I like the Music Man and PRS headstocks. I do like the PRS headstock. It's pretty cool, and it functions really well. Scott says, bikini one on my Wildcat is awesome. Yeah, on the Wildcat it looks pretty cool. Wildcat's just a nice guitar from Epiphone. Marcia says, is anyone here going to make an official TCD holiday sales list in a public Google form? Sounds like you're giving yourself a job here, Marcia. I'm hearing there's going to be tons of stock clearing. Would help for people to know where the best deals are at. I think you should do it. You're calling it out. I think you should do it. Yeah, here's what I've heard is that there is going to be some good sales. The likes of, like Thomann never do sales. So I'd be, or maybe I think they did one last year, but it was like the first time they'd ever done it and nobody was expecting it. But there is there's a rumor that there's lots and lots of stock built up now, mostly because Fender's issues where they made a lot of guitars because they were ordered by big box stores. The big box stores were like, we don't want those anymore. So they were left with a lot of stock that they hadn't sold. So there should be lots of Fender and Squier stock. Everything else, I'm not 100% sure, but I know some of the big retailers have been sitting on models that are not released yet. So we should be seeing those very soon. I'm not going to give any more dates or, hey, you should expect this next week or that week or whatever, because every time I do, it tends to be wrong. But there's stuff's out there. I know for a fact it's there. So hopefully we will see. I mean, it's better than it was a year and a half ago where there was nothing anywhere. So if I notice anything, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, Marshall, feel free to make up a Google form. That'd be cool. We can share it around the group, or if anyone else wants to take that job, let us know, because it'd be cool. Of course, you guys in what do you call it? In the US, you have like Guitar Center. We have Thoman here. Folks in the UK, Andertons and Peach Guitars probably have some stuff going on that won't necessarily be great deals for us by the time we add on import taxes and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be different all over, but hopefully we get some good stuff this year. I'm sure we will. Scott says, I like some PRS ones. I presume headstocks we're still talking about. Very cool. SB says, oh, and favourite headstock, well, I have to go with Gibson. Angus and Slash influenced me when I was 16. A rich friend got gifted a brand new Gibson SG Standard. My mind was blown seeing it for the first time. Yeah, pretty much the same. Those guys, and like seeing people, everyone from, I suppose, Clapton and Slash and just all kinds of people. B.B. King, Chuck Berry. All the greats were playing Gibsons. But then Epiphone kind of was in my eyes because the Beatles were very big in my youth as well. Then a lot of indie bands I was seeing playing Fender Telecasters a lot and stuff. So, yeah, those kind of things do come into play. But Gibson would be a big one for me, I think, as well. I do agree with you, sir. Let me see. We got Marsha says, might be a good way to advertise the channel. Nobody else has ever done that. People can add really good sales and coupon codes to the public Google file. Listen, guys, if somebody wants to help put that together, that'd be great. I don't really have the time to do it, but if you guys want to do stuff, I also don't really use Google stuff a lot, so probably would do it wrong. So if one of you guys wants to take over and do it, that'd be super cool. Just to share amongst the community would be even fine. Ryan says, LPJ and specials are cool, but just make sure you try it first. I just got a wrap tail special, and it felt just odd to me. I'd rather a regular bridge. Yes, some people, that's how some people feel about it. For sure. It is a different beast somewhat. Glenn says 40 likes and Dave finishes that beer, then tries to open that clan. You know what? 45 likes, and I will take out the screwdriver that I think is over there. Might be over there. Anyway, with a butter knife if necessary. No, Scott, butter knives will not be used. I have screwdrivers. I think. Yeah, let me actually. You can see the screwdriver. Let me get it. It's a Canadian screwdriver, right? Anyway, have one of those. I can get into it. Let's see what happens. 45 likes, guys. Robert says, good morning. Oh, good to see you, Robert. Hope you're doing well. Went to see Led Zeppelin tribute band last night. Surprisingly, they were great. Les Pauls, Marshalls, beer. What more do you want? Very cool, Robert. Yeah, that's awesome. You just reminded me that Robert Plant is playing in my town in the next couple of weeks. That's weird. I must try and get the day off work so I can haunt him. Let me see, actually. I don't know why I haven't done this before, but I can get you, wait till you see where he's going to be playing. It's because it's super weird, I think, that he is going to be here in Wexford, of all places. So I'd love to show you guys, if I can get a decent picture of what it looks like for you in just a second. There's loads, like they used to have comedy gigs and some local bands and stuff play. They do like a burlesque show or something every year there as well. But it's only a temporary structure they put up just for this like little festival they run October, November time. Where is it? There was a picture there that I think will give it a... Okay, that one is fine. So yeah, this is gonna, I should be getting paid by the Wexford Tourist Board to show you this, but there you go. So let me get it on the screen now. Oh, hang on. we'll be back in just a second with actually talking about shit. Here we go. So yes, Robert Plant will be playing. See this thing that looks like a UFO in this picture, but it's not actually. It's actually just a circular tent thing. And as you can see, it's about the size of just a regular building. It's not that big. It's not a huge place, but I've been to a couple of gigs in it. It's not too bad. But it's just on the quay here in Wexford, where nothing happens a lot of the time, every now and then. And now they're starting to get rock gods to come and play. It's bananas to me. But yeah, in a couple of weeks' time, Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin will be there. And he's going to disappoint a lot of people by not playing any Zeppelin songs. Because that's what he does. He likes to mess with people. But anyway, glad you had a good night, Robert, with the Zeppelin tribute band. That's always a cool event. Scott says, I have bad I cut my hand stories. Yeah, those are no fun, but you know, just maybe lay off the old alcohols when you're drinking, or when you're not when you're drinking, when you're working. That's my advice on that one. Ryan says, I went to school with a kid who chopped off his 2 middle fingers. Poor guy can never go bowling. I'm sure that's what he was concerned with. When I was in school, we had a woodwork teacher who showed us a big demonstration about safety when using machinery, and the next day cut off 2 of his fingers on the machinery that he was saying to be like, you know, safe with. So that was kind of ironic. We made fun of him quite a lot for the next 3 years, and he didn't like it. Let me see. Ryan says, I'm serious. He did. His name was Walter. There you go. T-Ball says, what up, guitar freaks? Hey, Anthony, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we're all laughing at Walter. Poor old Walter, he can't go bowling and other things. Scott says, the trade embargo that stopped American guitarists from going to the UK shaped their desirability greatly, in my opinion. Yeah, it would do. It would do. 45 likes and you do it drunk and blindfolded. No. Thanks, Glenn. You're always trying to get those likes up. I do appreciate it. But you know what? I think we'll have to just see how it goes. 45 likes and we'll see what happens. There's lots of time. There's 33 likes now, so you only need 12 more. But the rule is, Glenn, only 1 from each persona that you have on YouTube. So there you go. There you go. Anthony says T-Ball, or Anthony is T-Ball. Late getting here as usual, was busy making some liver and onions, just like Grandma used to make. There you go. Very cool. Dave Lewis says Tone used to have a big annual weekend shift, everything sale at their store warehouse in Germany. Yeah, that's true. They do. You have to go to it though. They don't have, it's not online. So yeah, you can walk in and get some pretty good deals, I believe, if you did. Unless there was a way to do it online that I never got an email about or whatever. But yeah, that actually looked like a lot of fun. I think they still do it. I don't know. Anyway, Scott says that's a Newfoundland socket set. There you go. Very good. Ryan says, I thought that was duct tape. Well, there you go. I shouldn't have said Canadian screwdriver, should I? It's going to be a whole thing now. SB says, couldn't agree more. Plus, School of Rock and Tenacious D came out when I was a teen. I owe Jack Black a lot of me pursuing my guitar journey. And now he's even Bowser, my hero. There you go. Yeah, listen, anyone who gets you excited to pick up a guitar at some point it's a good thing. So glad Jack Black was that for you. Something's gone weird on my system here, guys. Bear with me. There we go. All right, we're back up. It was too bright. I don't know what was going on. Scott says, Red Green is from Ontario, so that's you guys. I presume that's another Tools reference. Murphy Slab says, where do watermelons go on holiday? John Cougar's Melon Camp. You're making me read out stuff, aren't you? Dave Lewis says, I've got a few excellent deals from Peach Guitars this year. They seem to have great deals. Yeah, absolutely. I wish there wasn't this whole Brexit thing, because then we wouldn't have to pay extra taxes when we imported stuff from places like Peach Guitars and Andertons and stuff. Have bought quite a bit of stuff from Andertons down the years. Always their customer service was always great as well. Haven't ever bought anything from Peach though, so maybe I will next year. See how it goes. David Reed says, I went to see Pacifier last night. Craziest concert I've ever seen. Well, there you go. I've never heard of them, I don't think, but I'm glad it was crazy. That sounds good. T-Ball says, what's the difference between a drummer and a bass player? The drummer will move the dishes before pissing in the sink. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, Dead, that's quite a safety demo. There you go, Marcia. Yeah, appreciate it. Oh, dear. In fact, there you go. Even better. Ryan says, I saw Hal Roach in Wexford. Yeah, you could have done. That was a while ago, I think. Jess says, who is the best band you've seen in Wexford? Good to see you, Jess. Well, my favourite band I've seen in Wexford is Ash, who are an Irish band who were big in the 90s for about 10 minutes. And I've seen them live a few times, but they played a couple of times in Wexford. I think they might be playing again around Christmas time or something. I don't know. But yeah, like big acts don't really come here too often. You get some of the Irish acts and stuff come along. The likes of Aslan play on a regular basis in Wexford. If you've probably never heard of Aslan if you're not from Ireland. Let's see. Well, I can't think of any other big names who have played here, but it's getting bigger. I mean, Jules Holland played here a few years ago. Imelda May, I suppose, still is an Irish act as well. But yeah, it's getting, I mean, that Spiegel Tent Festival thing that they do, it's getting bigger. They've got Robert Plant this year. You don't get much bigger historically than Robert Plant. So there you go. But yeah, good to see you, Jess. Thanks for dropping in to see us. Dave Lewis says, my woodwork teacher liked to hit boys' bums with a 3-foot metal ruler. Yeah, they weren't allowed to do that in my day, but we did have a different woodwork teacher than the one who cut his fingers off. And his name was Mr. O'Connor. And he used to get the eraser for the board and throw it at you. He was trying to throw it past you, but he hit several people. He was always trying to just wake you up a little bit by like having it whiz past your ear. But there's several people just straight in the head. I wasn't one of them. I had good reflexes. I caught it a couple of times. Yeah, woodwork teachers, man. Anyway, Mars says to David, maybe I can make a Google file thingy that people can add info to. That sounds good. Then as people run into something good, they can add it to the link, code or anything like that. Sounds like a good plan. Glenn says all the likes from the multiple personalities should count because we're not on speaking terms right now. Glenn, all right then, they all count, but just one each. All right, just one each. Let me see. We got Marcia says, I'll send it to Dave or Scott so they can put it in the Facebook group and let people know. That sounds like a plan. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we'll get it out there somehow. So yeah, if you do it, let me know and let Scott know. He'll do it. He's a wizard as far as I'm concerned. That's how he's always in the chat first above everyone else. He's a wizard. That's how it is. And then you can add the info from there. Absolutely. Yeah, we can pop it up on Facebook. That's a good plan, Marcia. I like it. Let me see. Benny says to Dave Lewis, he sounds like an unpleasant person. Woodwork teachers, they're kind of grumpy, but there you go. I remember our woodwork teacher for our junior cert, which is, I know, how old are you in junior cert? Like 14, 15, something like that. We had to design different things. And one of the dudes was like, I want to make a snooker table. He was like, you can't do that because it'll cost too much money. So yeah, he wasn't allowed, he was restricted so much. He was so bored. I think that's why he cut his fingers off so he wouldn't have to come to work. Anyway, see all the random things that come up in this live stream. It's woodwork teachers, fingers being cut off, sometimes guitars. Why wouldn't you join us? Glenn says, I wish I could get some gear from Thomann. They don't send those good deals to the US. No, you got to move to Europe, Glenn. That's the deal there. Well, I mean, they do ship to the US. I think it costs $30 per guitar or per item until you get to 3 items. And then I think that's what it is. It's like pay for 3 items to be shipped, or maybe it's 2 items. Anyway, but you know what you can do from Thomann? They will ship to you in the US within 2 days. They will ship to me in Ireland. Takes at least a week. They don't even give us an option for quicker shipping. I don't know why, but they do. Anyways, Scott says, send it to Dave. No, send it to Scott. It's all good. Murphy Swap says, anyone use a Strymon? I don't. So there you go. Dave Lewis says, except for Harley Benton, Thomann aren't competitive on guitar and gear prices anymore. Yeah, they're pretty much they pretty much don't have big deals on stuff. So you're paying recommended retail price for a lot of stuff. But yeah, on Harley Benton, they have obviously the best deals that you can get. But there you go. Ryan says, it's too bad because Wexford is an awesome town for a show or festival. It is. It's pretty good. I mean, there's good links transport-wise now because the roads are better. It doesn't take 4 hours to get to Dublin anymore. I mean, that was a long time ago. But yeah, it's a pretty cool place. I like it. And it's nice that I could walk to a venue where Robert Plant is going to play. I mean, the ticket sold out in like 4 minutes and I couldn't get one, but it's going to be really funny to, maybe if I can, because I think it's on a Saturday, maybe I'll stand outside Robert Plant's gig and just count all the people in Led Zeppelin shirts who are then annoyed that he doesn't play Led Zeppelin songs. That could be hilarious. Anyway, I won't do that. I'll get beaten up. T-Ball says, concert tickets in the States are ridiculous, priced well out of my budget. They're heading up for everyone. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Like Motley Crue announced they're playing in Dublin next year. And I haven't even looked to see a bunch of the price. I don't really want to go see Motley Crue anyway, but they definitely have gone up. I mean, I paid 150, I think, each for 2 tickets to see Guns N' Roses this year. I mean, I paid it 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a long time ago, but still it's like concert ticket prices are getting crazy. I know we've had this conversation before, but like my first concert ticket was like £17 at the time, which is, a billion years ago. But hey, I know some of you guys were like, I paid $3 to go and see Zeppelin and Deep Purple and The Who all on the one bill. I hate you guys. Glenn says, yeah, Dave, I did get a nice Harley Benton cab. But there you go. Nice Harley Benton cab. Nothing wrong with that then. Scott says, is there a relationship between HB and Thomann? And yeah, and Ryan's correct. It's Thomann's house brand is Harley Benton. That's right. Yeah, let me see. Scott says, thank StubHub and the like for that. And yeah, it's legal scalping, says Anthony. Yeah, indeed. Concert tickets, it's crazy. But also, like, it comes back to, it's the same thing with movies, where people are like, sick of seeing reboots and remakes and things. But then, you know what happens? A remake is brought out and the cinema is packed for that week and they sell so many tickets and they make a lot of money. It's easy money, so they just keep jacking up the prices and jacking up the things that they're doing. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but we'll always want to go see these bands, so we'll probably pay whatever it takes. So it sucks. My thing, I hate what they're doing now which is like you have to buy the gold circle tickets to get into the pit or the closer area, whatever they're calling it. They're everywhere, and every band is pretty much doing it now, where you have to be paying extra for those tickets. I think that sucks. It used to be just if you got there early, you were in, as you guys know. But yeah, not anymore. Glenn says, I haven't seen any shows, but my job takes up and down the highway, and I'm passing a lot of tour buses. Yeah, should maybe just stop them. Just get in their way, put the brakes on, stop them. Just see who's on the bus. Glenn says, ticket prices are crazy. I paid $15 to see The Who and $30 for Guns N' Roses. Now I don't see anything under $100. Yeah, that's $45 to see The Who and Guns N' Roses combined. That's crazy. They did tour together for a little bit a few years ago. That would have been a good show. And I think tickets for that at the time were going for about $80. It's not too bad. It's still, at the end of the day. T-Ball says, a week to ship to Ireland when they are practically in your backyard. Feck those guys. Yeah, indeed. I don't understand why it always takes so long, but it does. It's like, and there's no shipping options. There's no like, I can't choose 2-day shipping or 3-day shipping. It's just shipping. There you go. You get one option. Do you want it shipped to you or do you not want it shipped to you? It surprises me, but there you go. And it always surprises me. Somebody in Alabama, for example, can order something and have it in 2 days. If I place an order at the same time, it'll be a week. I know, Toman, if you're watching, and you might be, sort your shit out. That's crazy. Uh, Ryan says you'll probably see Robert Plant walking to the show too. I'm sure he'll be around Wexford Town, just checking it out. He might go for a coffee. That'd be cool. There will be a lot of Robert Plant watching people around town, I'm sure. I probably will carry my copy of Led Zeppelin 2 around with me that day. If you guys don't know, Led Zeppelin 2 is my favorite Led Zeppelin album because it's their best album. It's that and the greatest hits of Led Zeppelin are the two best albums that they released. So, yep. No, Led Zeppelin 2 is fantastic. But early in the channel days, I think, I did a video about why Led Zeppelin 2 is the greatest Led Zeppelin album. Don't watch it because it's because I have hair and that's daunting now at this point. But also, yeah, I don't know. Music videos don't do well on the channel for some reason. So we don't want to push that one too much. SB says, well, battery is dying. If I use my phone plugged in, it might blow up. Last time got dangerously hot. Have a great weekend, guys. SB, I hope you catch this. Take care of yourself. Be well. And yeah, hopefully your phone battery won't blow up. But yeah, take care. It's all good. Benny says, Toman has several house brands, including Millennium, HB, Millennium, etc. Yeah, I've used some Millennium stuff in the past as well, microphones and things, and they've been pretty good. So, yeah, I like them. They do make some good stuff. But you're 100% correct. They have a few other brands as well. Can't think of them off the top of my head. Al is here, says, hey gang, I'm late from an important date. Always good to see you, Al. No such thing as late around here, but we were wondering about your new SG. Glenn wants to know all the details and how you're finding it. So yeah, came up. So it looked super cool on Instagram. So yeah, thanks for sharing that unboxing. That was pretty cool. Ben Allmark says, for fun, go to the Plant gig and see how much scalpers are asking for tickets. Honestly, it's a tent. Like it's a tent with wooden panels around the side. So you could enjoy the gig standing outside. No problem. So if the weather's nice, I might do that. I have to check actually when it is. I'm not sure when it is. I presume I think it's in 2 weeks. Let me see. Robert Plant, Wexford. It is on the November 2nd, which is today's the 22nd, so it's in 10 days. So it's not on a Saturday then. Yeah, interesting. Robert Plant presents Saving Grace featuring Susie Diane. Wednesday, the November 2nd. There we go. So yeah, I can do Wednesdays. That's fine. So anyway, let's have a look and see. Get back into the chat. Oh, I did want to show you guys something actually. Where did I have it? It was on my phone. So let me just get this sent over to the computer and show you guys, because this is actually quite cool. I'm a big fan of this, and it's all you guys have done this. So that's what I'm going to show it to you. Let's see. Where is it? It's coming. It's coming. It's not. Where is it? Anyways, this is pretty cool. So let me see. It will be interesting to see how much scalpers are charging for tickets. I think they were 75 euros actually. Now that I think about it, when we're talking about ticket prices. So yeah, that's a bit much for a gig in Wexford, but hey, it is Robert Plant at the end of the day. What have we got here? So yeah, I want to show you this, which happened just a couple of days ago. Yesterday, maybe? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. This one, yep. 500,000 views on the channel. Now listen, there are some channels on YouTube here that get that like per video, which is great for them. It's super cool. But for me, it's been 2.5 years, over 2.5 years. And I'm super, super happy with that. 500,000 views is great. Thank you so much to every single one of you who's watched my videos. I know some of you have watched a couple of videos, more than a couple, more than once. And I do appreciate that. 500,000 views is a cool milestone to get. And it means a lot to me. So I wanted to say it on the live stream. Thank you so much to all of you for watching my videos. Because I've said it before. I think I put up when I got 400,000 views. I've said it before. I started a channel. I didn't really think I would get, you know, the 1,000 subscribers, and I didn't think anyone would be interested in watching all that sort of stuff. But here we are, over nearly 3 years later, actually, and we're gone. We're hitting 500,000 views, so that's cool. So just make sure, if you are watching, though, if you're one of those 500,000 views, make sure you're subscribing. That's all we ask you around here. Come and join us, say hello, and be cool. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for all the views. It means a lot to me. It really does. Ryan says, hey, Al, let's hear more about this date. There you go. And Glenn popping straight in with, Al, how's it going? How's that SG doing? Yeah, we're all interested in knowing about this new SG, Al. T-Ball says, Motley Crue, saw them a few years ago. Save your money. Yeah, it's the Tommy Lee show now, really, isn't it? And yeah, I wouldn't be interested in going to see them, to be honest. Never the biggest Crue fan, but you know, they come on a playlist every now and then, and I like it. Let me see. Al says, very boring, very boring. Had to buy a new phone with a new service. I told you it was boring. Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Still, could be worse. Could be worse. Dave Lewis says, Dave, are you a Porcupine Tree fan? No. Well, I mean, not really. That's the best answer I can give for that. Not really. No. Not that I'm not a fan of them or dislike them in any way. Just not a fan. So yeah. Not too familiar. That's what I would say. Ryan says, I saw Motley Crue last month. They sucked. There you go. That's all I need to know. So appreciate that, Ryan. Glenn says, if you get to the show earlier, you can help Robert unload the van. I am sure he will have no lack of help from people around town. It'll be funny. On a Wednesday as well. I mean, come on. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Al says, playing it every day, trying to bond with it sounds better than my Epi LP, but my PRS 245 LP is pretty close. Very cool, Al. Yeah, listen, do bond with it. It's a beautiful guitar. Murphy's Flap says, my father took me to see the Furies in Australia when I was 10. It was my first concert, cost $12. Wow. Yeah, that's quite a first gig. There you go. Al says, my Epi has Gibson pickups. Well, it sounds like a good one. Todd Moore says he saw Motley Crue in 1984 in the Bark at the Moon Shout at the Devil tour with Ozzy. Great show. Next tour was that Pussified Theatre of Pain crap. They lost me there. I mean, you know, that's kind of when they lost everybody. Not everybody, but you know. Ryan Burns says, I saw U2 in Toronto around 96 to 97 with my dad. Floor seats for $40 Canadian. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I was at Slane in U2 for Slane in 2000. Was it? Yeah, I think it was 2000. Maybe 2001. Anyway, they were great, but I can't remember it being much more than like £50 at the time. Maybe even 40, I think. That was a good show, and not the biggest U2 fan ever. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. It's a good one to look back on now as well. Todd Moore says, nobody in Alabama gets anything 2 days, dude. Pretty rural around here. That's what they're telling me. They say 2 days if you're in Alabama. So, but hey, you know, it's still further away than I am to Thomond, and it'll get there in less time than it'll get here. So there you go. But there you go, Todd. Todd says, yes, you did a video about Led Zeppelin 2. I've already seen it. So thanks for the warning. Yeah, listen. It's still there. You can watch it. No problems. No problems. Just, you know, just remember, I've grown. Not grown hair, but I've changed. That's what I will say. I've changed. I still think Led Zeppelin 2 is their best album. Scott says, is anyone else interested in potentiometer output charts? So Sorry, Scott. Benny Larson says, Towman orders take 4 or 5 days to arrive here in Denmark, bordering Germany, though at the opposite end of it. It's still crazy. It's still crazy. Yeah, I mean, look, at the same time, I mean, I could send something to a friend of mine and it'll arrive tomorrow in Ireland, or in most of Europe. It'll arrive within a couple of days. But I can get stuff to the US. Sometimes it's like 3 days, sometimes it's like 10 days. So Michael Tueska's here. When I sent him the guitar he won, it should have gone. I went UPS with that one. It should have gone in 2 days, and it still took something like a week, just over a week to get to him because there was a hold up. You never know. Maybe there's all kinds of red tape stopping everything, country to country and so forth. I don't know, but either way, it's a pain. It's a pain. I do live in a place where, there's not great guitar shops or anything, so I kind of have to order online. But there you go. Ryan's very interested in the potentiometer charts. All right, well, school of nerds. That's all good. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Al says, these bands on revival tours piss me off. They're really tribute bands at premium prices, especially Eagles. Only one original member left. Joe Walsh and Timothy Schmidt are hired guns. Yeah, that is true. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the first one I went to see that were doing that were The Who, and it was obviously it's just Roger and Pete now. Pete's brother is on the bass. You got Ringo Starr's kid on the drums. Who else? There's a lot of other people playing with him as well. They put on a great show, but yeah, it's not John Entwistle and Mooney on the drums. So what can you do? It's never going to be. Scott says, nice, they paid you $40 to see you too. I mean, they probably put a free album on his phone that nobody wanted, and couldn't get rid of for years. Ryan says they were decent back then. Were they? Yeah, they had a couple of tunes. They did. The Butterfly Effect says, I need to buy 2 potentiometer 250K. I get them from Ali. I mean, yeah, you can do that. They sell them. I mean, pots are pretty easily available. Glenn says, Toman got my cab to the US in 2 days. It took 2 more days to reach me because it hit the US on a Friday. Yeah, that sucks. But there you go. It's not too bad. Murphy's Flab says, all went bad after the Batman song. That can happen. Yeah, that crossed the line. I mean, did their best. Scott says, I love output charts, pickups, pots. There you go. We all have our hobbies. Scott, some of them should be kept private. I'm just kidding. Ben says, I'm interested in the pot chart. I'll be doing pup work in the near future. So there you go. Kiss Me, Thrill Me, Love Me, Kill Me was my favorite U2 song. Really? There you go. Bullet the Blue Sky, says Ryan. Scott, what's my favorite U2 song? Whatever the last one in their show is, because then it's over. Sorry, U2. Nah, they got some good. They're good live. They're a good live band. Al says, playing my SG as we sit. Gotta tell you, second purchase from Gibson Demo Shop, and both look brand new. And the discount is better than my local shop. $400 off for both the SG and LP. Well, there, you can't beat that. That's $400. It's a good saving. So yeah, glad you're happy with it, Al. That's super cool. It looks great. Dave says, my May 1975 Earl's Court Led Zeppelin Sunday ticket cost £1.50. Friday was free. I would have gone on Saturday, but I went to the live. There you go. £1.50, man. To see Zeppelin, man. T-Ball says, I watched all your videos 200,000 times each. You're welcome. Thanks, Anthony. I do appreciate it. It's super cool of you to do so. Ben says, how do you know that some of us have watched videos more than once? Does it show you that, Dave? Just curious. No, I know because some of you guys have told me that you've rewatched videos or watched them a few times. Some folks commenting months later after the video goes out, after commenting originally, and so forth. So no, it doesn't show me who views which video when. Well, I mean, I can drill down to how many viewers from each country and so forth. I don't usually look at all that stuff. I don't really care. As long as people are watching and enjoying the content, you can be from anywhere in the world. But no, it doesn't. So it doesn't show me where you are or who you are. It just does. I mean, folks tell me, oh, I watched that video a few times, or I liked it, or I'd see a comment come up a few months after a video. That's generally how I know. So yeah, nothing to worry about. Not stalking you, promise. Maybe most of you. I'm not. Benny says Tone order arrived quicker in the US because it's airmail. That could be why. Yeah, absolutely. It's true. But yeah, I mean, I know in the US they get an option though for quicker delivery. Like you can choose like 2-day delivery or standard delivery, I think, and then that takes longer. We don't get that option. Let me see. Todd says that he's picking on his SG as well. Good stuff. Hope you're making sweet music. Both of you. Glenn says, Al, I was wondering about the quality of the demo shop. I've been looking at it for a while. Well, our friend Geek Lord makes videos about the demo shop every week. Video series, I'm sure he stole from me. But there you go. Dave Lewis says, SAHB live at Hammersmith Odeon. You guys been some cool stuff. T-Ball says, I liked Crew's first 2 albums. After that, I lost interest. And Benny says, orders. I can't write tonight. Don't worry. It's all good. We got you. Glenn says, Al, thanks for the input. I feel better about buying from there if I see something I like. Yeah, I think I saw, whose video did I see? They were talking about, they did a tour of the Gibson factory in Nashville, and they were talking specifically about the demo shop. And one of the guys, obviously he works from Gibson, so I don't know if you can be like, take this for 100%, but he was like, it's basically those guitars get the same attention to detail as the custom shop ones do. So if you can't afford a custom shop, but you can't afford one of the demo shop guitars, because they basically go through those guitars with a fine tooth comb to make sure they're right, because some of them have to be fixed up to actually sell out, so or to sell them, so they make adjustments and so forth. So it's probably a good way of getting a Gibson that they just want to get out of their warehouse. I mean, we've seen stuff on there from like 2008. I've seen loads of 2015s, loads of 2016s. Those come with the good cases, and they don't have the robo tuners. So if you're not into that, but you want a 2015, that's one way. I mean, they still have this the hologram sticker and the stupid headstock on the 2015s, but what can you do? The Les Paul 100 thing. Anyways, Scott says, what's everyone's favorite live album? Mine's Slayer's Decade of Aggression. Mine is, so I have 3 that I really like and I listen to a lot. The Who live at Leeds, brilliant. It's probably, I think that's the #1 first live album I heard, and I was like, that's amazing. So the second one then is the Guns N' Roses one. That's a really cool album. I dig that a lot. And what's the other one? Oh, Rory Gallagher Irish tour. Fantastic. Those, I mean, that's just great. I don't count the unplugged albums, but a lot of those are really good as well. So yeah, like obviously Nirvana unplugged is up there. Eric Clapton unplugged was really good as well. There's lots of stuff like that, but I mean those are more stage things and re-recorded and everything, so I believe so. Yeah, Who live at Leeds is probably my absolute favorite live album. Marcia said, or Glenn says, Marcia dropped her drink down that place with the hole. Well, we won't go there. Even though I guess we kind of did already. Al Adolfson says to Glenn, the defects that they state are there, but I had to really look for them. It sounds great. Gibson probably looked over it closely. Let's face it, even a used guitar, you don't know what you get. True, very true. Butterfly Effect says, every time I fall asleep in front of the TV, I watch you and Sniper Wolf dozens of times. Well, appreciate that. I'm sure Sniper Wolf does too. That's super cool. Yeah, if I'm helping you, maybe I should start that ASMR channel I want to do. Help people get to sleep. Just go to sleep. That's what they do, right? Like pretend to touch it. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. Ryan says Nirvana Unplugged is a good album. Glenn says my favorite live album, Aerosmith Live Bootleg. I like that one. That's cool. I like Aerosmith. I listened to them probably more in the last few months than I have in ages. So it's been good. I like them. Getting back into them a bit. T-Ball says favorite live album UFO Strangers in the Night. Interesting. Dave Lewis says, Dave, are you a fan of King Crimson? Um, am I a fan of King Crimson? I think Robert Fripp is fantastic. Am I a fan of King Crimson though? That's a good question. Uh, I don't know. I like on Sundays when his wife does videos with him and she practically wears no clothes. That's interesting. Um, yeah, Robert and Toya. That's always fun. I actually think they're hilarious. But Robert Fripp is what a guitarist he is. Um, I don't think I'd go see King Crimson live. I think that, yeah, but I listen to him on and off, yeah, for sure. Um, Mar says, found it. You'd think I lived in a mansion here. You do, tell the truth. How do you lose a drink in a small one bedroom? I'd like to know. I have no idea either. Um, although when I lived in a one bedroom up till recently, I lost loads of stuff and found it months later and was like, oh shit, I should probably get rid of that. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Scott says, I spend half of my day looking for my coffee mug. Yeah, been there. Been there. Marcia says, oh heck. So we're talking fave live albums. I can't pick just one. I really can't. Pick one. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really good ones. Um, T-Ball says, Marcia, how many of those drinks have you had? That's a question too. And cheers to all you who are having drinks. Because it is Saturday night. I know for some of you it's Saturday afternoon, and some of you it's Sunday morning. But Saturday night here, so cheers. And by the way, do point out the beer every week. It's Fox's Rock. Again, had this a couple of weeks ago. Decided tonight get some more because it's a pretty good beer. So if you do get a chance to pick it up, I think you'll like it. Ryan says, I'm still waiting on that Benson amp. Still? Wow. The guy shipped it UPS instead of US Post 2 weeks and it just passed customs. Well, at least it's there, so you should have it soon. If it's past customs, that's good. Glenn says, I agree. Al, our chances of getting a Gibson without defects is slim, so getting a discount is a way to go. I mean, we've talked about Gibson under their defects, but yeah, I'm hoping at some point, maybe by the end. Actually, I'm kind of scared to do it, but I have a video in the plans that will highlight some crazy Gibson defects that have gone out this year. Yeah, pretty sure this year. Um, I need our good friend Muddy H2O to come around and share some pictures with me. Not those pictures, the guitar pictures. Dave Lewis says to T-Ball, Dunsy's guitar channel does some excellent UFO track lessons. Yeah, Dunsy's guitar comes in here sometimes on the live chat. So yeah, you can check out some stuff with him. He's a cool guy. I like his YouTube channel a lot. Marcia says, the T-Ball, one too many cokes fell down that glorious hole. Pretty sure it was Geek Lord's fault. Everything is. So yeah. Glenn says, my favorite U2 song, Angel of Harlem. That is a good song. Wayne McConnell's here. Good to see you, Wayne. Hope you are doing well. He said, just brought home a cheap electric that needs some love, and I'm the man to do it. There you go. There's nothing wrong with some love. I was going to say some cheap love, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, nothing wrong with a cheap guitar and giving it some love. Glad to have you here, Wayne. Always nice to see you drop in. Butterfly Effect says, Angel of Harlem, like it too. And Glenn says, Wayne, loving that guitar's a dirty job, and you're the man to do it. There you go. Vincent Doyle says, travel to Newcastle to see a crew on their final tour, and Alice Cooper kicked them off the stage. Good stuff, Alice Cooper. Yeah, absolutely. From what I can see in the stadium tour, Poison was kicking their ass every night. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. And Poison are not on the European tour. Yeah. Who is on the European tour? Actually, I haven't looked at it. I think I saw Tommy Lee posted somewhere that they're coming to Ireland. But there you go. Scott says, my country is not recognized by the rest of the world. Well, what can we do? Daniel Theroux, good to see you, Daniel. Thanks for dropping in. Says, people try to defend Gibson saying the nitro finish is difficult, but my response is always is Heritage does a good job at it. It's true. It's true. I mean, I think Gibson, I don't try to defend them for their finish. Yeah, it's difficult to work with, but you made the choice to work with it, so you should be good at it. So Yeah, I get your point there, Daniel, 100%. Scott says, everyone hit like for Marsha. Hey, which channel are we on? Marsha says, the Ticketmaster price problem is easy to fix. Just got to make it so people can only resell at face value or less, only giving away or for free in their own system. Scalper issue solved. It'll become a thing that they'll stamp it out, but then you'll have the official reseller markets, and those will charge exorbitant fees. So the ticket price will be the same face value, but then your reseller fee will be half the price of the ticket or something like that. It's just gonna be what happens. There's a lot more to come. I know they're working on lots of different ticketing options. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. In 10 years' time, tickets will be very different than they are today. Al says, my last kudos for the demo shop. Both guitars came set up beautifully, E string at about 0.050, nice low action and intonated correctly. Yeah, as I was saying, they're supposed to be going over them with a fine tooth comb, make sure that they're set up and ready to go out the door. So glad that's been your experience, Al. And yeah, it makes me want to buy a demo shop guitar. But of course, I have to buy the European demo shop. I don't know if they're doing the same thing. But I might just need to find out. Benny says to Scott, another great live album is Iron Maiden's Live After Death. Was also really Wasp's Live in the Raw, despite the fakery. Yeah, Iron Maiden, I like that one. That's a good one. David Lewis says, I saw the Eagles at the Elton John Big Day Out concert at the old Wembley Stadium, summer 1975. Joe Walsh was asked to join the Eagles after that gig. Fantastic. That's really cool. Yeah, what a gig to be at. Mark says, Hex, yeah. Whoever fails to hit like, I'll show up at your door to demand all your gear. I mean, that's a you gotta be careful, guys. She's serious, I think. T-Ball says, anybody use Super amps? I got a Blues King and love it. I don't, but it sounds like you got a good one. So that's awesome. Glenn says, Elton John just played at Nats Park in DC. My friends went and said it was great. I mean, there's a lot of singing alongs there, which is pretty cool. Daniel Tilleru says, Nirvana MTV live performance. That's a good one. I think there's a DVD floating around this house of that. For sure, a good show. Yeah, they were a good live band. You see, Marsha said, or Ryan says, Marsha, I have a Delta King, same as Blues King. Amazing amp. There you go. Very cool. Shepherd's Touch, which is Butch. Good to see you, Butch. I'm done with Gibson. I sold everyone that I had. If a company has to sue everybody just to make the same styles of guitars since the beginning of guitar making, it shouldn't matter what you make. Your sales should reflect the quality of your instruments. I'm not going to argue with you on that, Butch. I think that's, yeah, I think they spend way too much time arguing, or not arguing, suing companies and not focusing on their main business. You know, we've been down that road on a few videos. I think it's just not important. But there you go. I think if people were making exact replicas, yeah, fine, but they're not. So just get over it and make good guitars, right? Al says, I forgot the Who live at Leeds. That CD is lost somewhere. My favorite is Derek and the Dominoes at the Fillmore. That's a great live album. And the Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore. That's another great album. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, another one would be like The Last Waltz would be another one, I suppose. Yeah, lots and lots of really great live albums. David Lewis says the SAHB live album is my all-time favorite. Very cool. And Todd says the Unplugged series I liked, of the Unplugged series, I liked Alice in Chains the best by far. Yeah. I don't know if it was an MTV Unplugged, but there's a Chris Cornell live. I think he did it in London, an acoustic one. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That dude was incredible. So yeah. There we go. Cresta Bear 69, in fact, says Thin Lizzy live and dangerous. Yep. Can't argue with that. It's a great live album. Daniel says Coheed and Cambria live album was good. Yeah, for sure. Murphy's Flab says, need more on the Patreon. Join if you can. Absolutely. And thank you to those of you who have jumped in there. We're getting it going. As I said, there will be content there this week. But yeah, appreciate all of that. So Murphy's Flab, thank you so much. Glenn says, live at the Fillmore. How did I forget about that? It's a good question, Glenn. How did you forget about it? I want a 3,000 word essay on how you forgot about it on my desk first thing Monday morning. Marcia says, on MTV Unplugged, not just Nirvana, but Oasis, Aerosmith, Clapton. There's great unedited footage on YouTube, and many of them that includes the funny banter between takes. Yeah, there is. There's good stuff. Some pretty interesting stuff was going on in those shows. Of course, Kurt was for MTV Unplugged. Kurt was apparently still high for the whole thing. So there you go. Vincent Doyle says, what's your thoughts on the Use Your Illusion box sets coming soon? I'm so over that era. I can't listen to any of that shit. My thoughts on it are, I like Use Your Illusion. I do. I like them. Some of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs are on those two albums. But I think these super deluxe box sets are fucking stupid. Even if they're your favorite band or whatever. I mean, honestly, I used to like, maybe when I was younger, I used to like all these special edition things for like box sets of movies and all kinds of things, whatever. But now I'm like, am I ever going to look at those replica tickets? Do I really need those? Or posters and stuff? I'm not going to be allowed to put posters up on my wall. So, I think that's kind of stupid. The extra tunes and stuff, that's fine, but I'm pretty sure all this stuff's going to be on Spotify anyway. So I don't know why they're releasing that sort of stuff anymore. All good to for people who do want it. I don't know. Look, I still dig a lot of stuff from Use Your Illusion, but I get where you're coming from as well. It's about time they release new music. Apparently it's coming. They've got some other stuff they're putting out in the next couple of months. We're getting new Guns N' Roses stuff in the next couple of months. What I think it's reworking old demos again. I think that's what's coming out first, and then new tracks apparently next year. But they've been saying that for the last 2 years, so we will see. But Vincent, yeah, I get you. I don't really think I won't be buying these Use Your Illusion box sets. Yeah. Not my thing anymore. Probably when I was like 18, I would have thought it was the coolest thing ever. But now that I'm 40, I'm like, no, that's not that cool. Peter Gio with the super chat. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Says, congrats on the views, Dave. Well, thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. That's super cool of you. Thanks for the super chat. Let me see what else we got. Daniel says, in court of the Crimson King is goated. Indeed. Let me see. We've got Todd Moore says, Black Sabbath Past Lives is probably my favorite live album overall. Classic bluesy metal at its best. I knew you'd find a Black Sabbath album. Yeah, that's a fun one. Dave Lewis says, Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous wasn't a live album. It's a good album. Shepherd's Touch says, what's up, Scott? It's Butch. Had to use my wife's account today. Left my laptop at the shop. Well, there you go. Todd Moore says, AC/DC's If You Want Blood, You Got It is good. Raw rock and roll. Nothing wrong with good raw rock and roll. Daniel says, is that IPA? It's just a lager, I believe. Yeah, it's just lager, as it says there. So not an IPA, but they do make one. I think last week or the week before, I was drinking one of their IPAs. There you go. Don't judge me too much. Todd Moore says, coffee here for me, afternoon time. I suppose that's fine, Todd. It's all good. Glenn says, good choice, Todd. Another good one. For the coffee, I agree. Al says, I've recording of Jerry Lee Lewis and he's a class sitting with him, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, George Harrison and Mike Bloomberg, to name a few. It's an old VHS off TV, but classic. I mean, that's not a bad group. It's not a bad group at all. Marsha says, Murphy, I wish I could afford to do the Patreon. There should be a sponsor Marsha option. If Dave wants serious Patreon members, he needs exclusive Glory Hole merch. That might come down the line. I shouldn't have used those words. There you go. Those shirts sold like crazy. They did really well. Maybe that's where they will come back. I think I deleted the files for them, but I can recreate them. T-Ball thinks that's a good idea. So there we go. It's probably going to happen. Al says, to help pay for the SG, I'm selling a Sterling by Music Man Cutlass. Great guitar, but couldn't really bond with it. Didn't play it much. It's blue. Stop tempting me, Al. I know what you're doing. But send me the link. Scott says, Dave, what's with the thumbnail guitars tonight? A Beato and a Jazzmaster or something. They were just randomly chosen, to be honest with you. Needed to put something up, so yeah, what we got? These two, Beato and a Squire 40th anniversary Jazzmaster. Yeah, just randomly chose ones from that had been uploaded or used in thumbnails recently. That's all. Usually that's all I do. I better choose one of these randomly. So yeah, that's all. Nothing beyond that. Possibly. T-Ball says, Vince Neil sings like he's choking on a double cheeseburger. No comment. But yeah. Todd says, word's going around that John 5 is joining Motley Crue for touring purposes. Not that I'd go see him, even if he did. That'd be interesting, yeah. I still wouldn't go see him, you're right. Glenn says, T-Ball, he's trying to eat that burger and sing at the same time. I mean, he's hungry. He's hungry. He only had a burger like 2 songs ago. T-Ball says, I have to be paid to see Motley Crue. There you are. Benny says, Judas Priest live in Japan. Very cool. Mick Mars I think is still in the band. I think he is, Glenn, as far as I'm aware. I know he's not well, or he's not doing great or whatever, but we'll see. John 5 would be an interesting one. Marsh says to T-Ball, those shirts were a major seller. There's obviously demand for TCD Glory Hole gear. Maybe a Glory Hole of the Month club here with a new exclusive GH item shipped monthly, member city. You're giving me ideas now. I think new merch item every 3 months. I think that's the minimum we can do it for anyway. So, Patreon. I need to also learn my ways around Patreon, but we will see for sure. Let me see here. What we've got. Sorry guys, just checking a couple of things. We're at 43 likes. What do I have to do if we hit 45? Open the clan. All right, I'll do it. Where are we? Ryan Burns says John 5 is way too good for Crew. I would tend to agree, but there you go. Mar says to Todd, didn't John 5 already shoot that rumor down? I think it was on Rockfeed, but I wasn't totally paying attention, so maybe I'm wrong on that. Hopefully, at some point we need new great bands. Am I wrong? Scott Bogfoot, you're not wrong. Can't see where the next Zeppelin's coming from, to be honest, but I'm sure there's kids listening to some band nowadays saying there'll never be a band as good as whoever they are. I'm sure if Batfink was here, he would tell us the name of some cool bands. Daniel says, John 5 is criminally underrated. That is true. Glenn thinks John 5 would be a good fit. Interesting. T-Ball says, Mick Mars has some sort of degenerative disease. He will just continue to go downhill, sadly. Yeah, he's had that for obviously for a long time, but it's been an issue for a long time with him. There you go, the old man. I suppose can't do it forever. Al says, does Slash have any solo albums? Loved to hear his stuff. I can't get past Axl's voice. To me, it sounds like fingernails across a blackboard, but that's just me. Well, yeah, Slash has... the Slash's Snake Pit, a couple of really good albums, and then you've got the Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. They've some good albums as well. They have a new one came out this year, which I'm really liking. So first album was Slash, just called Slash, and that had lots of guest appearances. Ozzy was on it, Lemmy was on it, Iggy Pop was on it, Chris Cornell. Doing vocals, all these guys. Dave Grohl did a drums session on it. Our good friend Todd Kearns is in Slash's solo band, or I guess he's in the Conspirators, who plays with him, and Miles Kennedy. But yeah, I hear you on Axel. Axel's voice isn't what it used to be. So so yeah, Axel was great. Like I genuinely think he was one of the all-time greats, but he's not anymore. He's not up there anymore. And of course, you got the Velvet Revolver stuff with Slash as well. But Slash plays a lot. He's on a lot of stuff for sure. Butch says, "No, Scott, you're right. We need new bands with that their style gives homage to older bands." Yeah, I mean, what's that? What's that band that is basically a rip off of Zeppelin and Aerosmith? Um, I don't listen to them, so I don't know their name. But anyway, they're a young band who do that, and people think they're great. So maybe more bands need to do that. Glenn says John Five is super talented. Did anyone see him on that metal show? Not one person saw him on that metal show. But yeah, I do agree with you about John Five. He's pretty cool. Todd says, Marcia, yes, he did, just like dozens of other musicians who have signed an NDA. There we go. He's all but there. He jams with Nicky Six regularly. Mick cannot continue to tour. He's too sick now. So Todd seems to have an inside track there. So we will go with that. So Anthony says, seems to me this younger generation doesn't care as much about music as previous generations. I mean, young people, what are you going to do? Vincent says, Decade of Aggression is probably my greatest live album of all time. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not 100% on that one, but I'll have to check it out. Marcia says, Al, Slash's albums with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators is gold. Really amazing music, especially the latest album that was recorded live in a Nashville studio. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think the Conspirators, Miles Kennedy is great. He's really, really good. Good front man as well. Dave Lewis says the new Epiphone SGs based on Gibsons are awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them, indeed. So yeah, glad you agree with me there, Dave. Obviously, Dave's have good taste. Glenn says, you'll get that essay tomorrow. I'll have my personalities send you a page with 2 words each. That's fine. That's fine. I don't plan to read it. I just want it. Mercer Slab says, why can't you put posters on your wall? Just be like, they have to be clean. And it's a long story. I've also been told I'm not allowed to buy Legos and display them in my bedroom. I'm lucky there's guitars in there. It's a long story. It's a very complicated story right now. But anyway, Daniel says Epiphone is a good brand. They just need a good setup out of the box, and they play every bit as good as any other LP. I mean, there are levels for sure. But I'm a big Epiphone fan. I like their guitars a lot. I had a Gibson SG Special mini humbuckers. I really liked it. I bought an Epiphone SG Special with P90s, and I sold my Gibson because I played the Epiphone all the time. That's how much I love the Epiphones. I think they're great. They're doing really good stuff with Epiphones. But you're right, they need a bit of fixing up out of the box usually, and then they're really good guitars. Grandpa Joe says, I did see John 5 on that metal show. I would like to see Eddie Trunk revive that show. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Glenn says, exactly, Grandpa Joe. That was a great show. Jennifer was always a joy to see. Well, here's to you, sir. Dave Lewis says, there's a shitload of new Guns N' Roses audio, vinyl, and CD box sets just released in time for Christmas. I won't be buying any. Yep. Me too. And I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan, so I think that says all you need to know. Glenn says, Joe, that show with Michael Schenker was priceless. I didn't see that one, so there you go. And Al says, Daniel, I got to tell you, my Epi 59 plays great, but my PRS 245 LP style plays better. Both are set up the same, but maybe it's because the Epi has a thicker neck. Neck is everything. Indeed. Scott says, Dave, that KDH video that I submitted a video for got taken down by Warner Music. This is the video I submitted if you're interested in seeing. Very cool, Scott. I will check that out at some point over the weekend. But very cool. Daniel says, I might get pushback on this, but Miley Cyrus can sing. Maybe she can. I know there's I don't hate her. I think just some of those pop singers, when you put them in a rock scenario, they can actually do quite well. So yeah, I mean, good singers are good singers. I mean, that's why they're making money. crazy money doing what they're doing. Put some good music behind them. That's what you need. That's the problem there. Mark says, Al, I'm sure you know about Slash albums from Snake Pit, Velvet Revolver, etc. I just checked and he does have his own solo albums too. I thought so, but I confused them because he collabs with artists. Yeah, he does indeed. Michael Tuesca's here, says, hey everybody, just here for a minute while grocery shopping. I'd rather be guitar shopping. Wouldn't we all, Michael? But hey, thanks for dropping in. Super cool to see you. Always good. Hope that telly's treating you well. And let's see. We got Dave Lewis says, I bought 2 Slash Les Pauls last month. Very cool. Hope you're enjoying them. Those are great. What colors did you get? Because I'm very interested. Because, you know, the Epiphones, I did a video about the guitars when they came out last year. Was it last year? Yeah. I'm tempted now that I know that the Anaconda Burst and the Vermilion Burst are being discontinued early next year. I'm very tempted to pick one up. We will see though. The prices are starting to drop on those as well. So they're kind of getting into the area I think they should have been at launch. Just waiting for them to drop just a little bit more. So we'll see. Look for those to be blown out, by the way. I think you're going to see Slash models for sale very soon. But yeah, Dave, let us know what colors you got. I'm just interested. Daniel says, I do like my PRS over my Epiphone as well. I love my PRS. I'm a PRS SE Custom 22 and it's a great guitar. Plays great. It's lovely. Had my pal Marty check it out and set it up. And he was like, it's a great guitar. So he knows what he's talking about more than I do, let me tell you. Murphy's Flab says, I saw Gary Moore in Japan. Gary was the man. Gary was cool. Yeah, I wish I was older and could have gone along to see him live. That would have been super cool because he was playing shows in Vicar Street here in Dublin, like regularly, playing all over Ireland. Right? Maybe it was Vicar Street. I'm mixing up my venues now because I haven't been to them in a long time. Anyway, Marcia says, hey Michael, thanks for stopping by. Please remember to hit that like button. Indeed, Marcia, I love your admin on the channel. Good stuff. Keep it up. Glenn says, Glory Hole guitar picks would probably sell well. Good idea. Al says, damn Murphy, I always wanted to see Gary Moore live. Yeah, he's yeah, it's too late now. Glenn says, 45 likes and you said you would chug a beer and open that clon blindfolded. Well, if we get to 44, I guess that's the end of the show. Mike is here. Good to see you. Mike says, I'm really interested in Mick Mars's album to come out. It's been way too long. I think we'll see it. Possibly. I honestly don't know. I have no idea. But hopefully that'll be fun. Daniel says, who has listened to the new Mars Volta album? I haven't. I was aware they have a new album, but I haven't listened to it. Slash and Friends, that's the one, Scott. That's the one I'm thinking about. Al says, my favorite band playing today is Government Mule. Warren Haynes is the man. Yeah, not bad. Daniel says, Greta Van Fleet. That's it. That's the band. Yeah, I knew it was something to do with something. There you go. Al says, Velvet Revolver, 2 amazing albums. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think Contraband is better than what's the second one? Libertad. But both were great. I saw both. I was lucky enough to see Velvet Revolver live. I want to say 3 times, but definitely saw them twice. And I saw them. They played Dublin and then they played Liverpool, and that was their last show ever. Scott Weiland was like really pissed off with everybody, and was convinced. He stopped the show at one time, I believe, to give out shit to Matt Sorum for no reason. But there you go. Yeah, it was wild. They were great live. They were absolutely fantastic live. And if anyone knows, Vincent, you'll know venues in Dublin. It was in the Ambassador on O'Connell Street. Unbelievable venue when I saw them there. I saw them in the Point Depot as well. That was the first time I saw them. And then they played the Ambassador. I think maybe I saw them in the Olympia as well. Maybe that was Slash and Miles Kennedy. I don't know. But yeah, you get to see all these venues just run into one. But the Ambassador, definitely saw Velvet Revolver there. That was a crazy gig. They were super, super cool. Benny says, did anybody see the Guitar Geek podcast this week? A commenter named JJ Sandy suggested that somebody should put robo-tuners on an Evertune on the same guitar to fight it out. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Al says, I always confuse Velvet Revolver with Velvet Underground. Very different bands, Al, yeah. Both very cool bands at the same time. Indeed. But yeah, that's what a playlist that would be. Scott says Slash should do a live show, and for TV, that's like what Les Paul used to do, where they'd have guests and play blues songs. It'd be cool if they brought that sort of stuff back, but yeah, I don't know who would watch it. We would, obviously. Hopefully they don't do it on a Saturday, because I'd have no viewers. We got 44 likes, guys, very close to that magic number of 64 that we need to get to, I believe, for me to do anything that Glenn said. So Ryan says, I saw John 5 in the video playing the Hendrix guitar and others. John 5, let's all just say, like, John 5 is very underrated, a very good guitar player. Always enjoy, and he just also always looks like he's not even trying. Imagine if he looked like he was trying. Wow. Glenn says, Government Mule, I've always wanted that Alan Woody signature bass. Oh, they can't read. Woody Allen, I wanted to say. There you go. Dave says to Marcia, yes, a burst and a gold top. Like it. I was going to do a Trogley and a set and get the set, but the gold top was a nightmare. There you go. Interesting. Colin Smith from CS Guitars guested. Oh, very cool. Todd says, damn it, man, no posters allowed. What? I do what I want. Nobody tells me I can't have something if I want it. Well, there's other things I want, so, you know, we'll say nothing. Ryan says, no Lego. That's sad. I've hundreds of unopened sets I've hoarded. I mean, I can have unopened stuff. That's fine. It's a whole long story. There's also a reason why I'm not allowed to call my kids Batman. Whatever. This is a true story. We actually had an argument one time about that, and we don't have any kids. But if we did, I wanted to call him Batman, and it was shot down. It's like, that kid's not getting beaten up at school. No one's beating up Batman. Anyway. Todd Moore says, any thoughts on the new Epiphone Dave Mustaine Prophecy V and the Fluence pickups? It should have Dave's signature live wires in it. Gibson drops the ball again. Yeah, I'm not really surprised. But that's, aren't they putting Fluences in all of the Prophecies? I think they all have Prophecies. All the Prophecies have Fluences, I think. So I'm not surprised that they've done it. Be interesting to see what the official specs and stuff are and how they line up with the Gibson guitars they brought out recently. I think they're going to sell really well though, but they're going to be expensive for Epiphones as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see them priced even higher than the Jerry Cantrell ones, which were, I think, $1,100 for the Prophecy, maybe slightly higher. But yeah, they're going to be expensive Epiphones again. Remember all those people said that I didn't know what I was talking about when I said there's going to be super expensive Epiphones? What are they saying now? Probably still that I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's fine. Dave Lewis says, Colin, the guitarist has given me gas with his SG videos. Yeah, we love Colin, and we love the guitaristas. Big shout out to them. Great stuff. Their videos are great. Every time I watch their videos, I haven't watched the new one this week because I know I'm going to want to buy a Firebird. So anyway, we'll see. Scott says, I don't like Fishman in general. I'm afraid to try the Fluence pickups. There you go. Glenn says, he gave me gas with that Epi Firebird. He does that. Colin just makes you want to buy guitars. He makes me want to buy a cheap Strat and put a P90 in it like he did a couple of weeks ago. That was a really cool one. I really like his videos. They're really super cool. One of these days I'm going to get around to messaging him to try and get him on the channel. I will get around to that at some point. Hopefully. Scott says, I may like the Fluences. Yeah, I'm sure you will. Todd says, Daniel says, Todd is really a Dave Mustaine without his pickups, as I know Dave has never used Fishman's. Yeah, it's true. Well, we'll wait for the official announcement. Yeah, it does appear to have Fluences in it, which is just a bit unusual. Ryan says, Miley Cyrus is an amazing rock singer. Yeah, she's not bad. 100%. I do agree with you. T-Ball is a PRS fanboy here. I think if you played a PRS, you probably are. I mean, everyone I've played has been great. Let me see. Benny says, Todd, Fluence live wires, but live wires are Duncan's. Well, there we go. Todd says, Scott, same on the Fishman. I'm not a fan at all. Ola did a demo of Jerry Cantrell Prophecy Les Paul. It's garbage. The pickups change sound radically if you bump them. That's interesting. Didn't see that one. Probably because I had no real interest in that guitar. Scott says, at this point, if I get a Slash LP, it'll be a special 2 AFD and change the pickups to his signature Zebras. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Those are fun guitars, for sure. Mark says, wait, 2 of the Slash models are getting discontinued. Might be worth trying to upgrade the pickups if the price drops to compare whether the burst bookers should have come standard or it wouldn't matter. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I've thought about doing. Yeah, 2 of them are getting, so the Anaconda burst and the Vermilion burst are being discontinued. They were always supposed to be limited edition colors, but they've been selling them for 2 years now. Or 3 years now, 2 years anyway. But they're going to be replaced. There's going to be new Slash colors coming next year. So I don't know what they are yet, but I know there's 2 new ones planned to replace those ones. And they're going to keep refreshing the Slash lineup with limited edition models or colors every couple of years, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, it's an interesting idea, Marcia. I might do it. We'll see how it goes. Benny says, yes, live wires are Duncan's and they should be in Dave's guitar, not that Fishman garbage. So there you go. Todd says, fuck Greta Van Shite. I hate that band. You know, I just, I do not disagree with you, sir, not at all. Mike with the super chat. Thank you so much, sir, for the $6.99 super chat. With the super sticker, which says, wow, appreciate that. Thanks a million. Means a lot. And yeah, thank you so much. Ryan Burns says, I just watched Back to the Future last night. First time I've seen it. First time you've seen it. Ryan, how many times have I mentioned Back to the Future on this channel and you've never seen Back to the Future? What? Well, you've seen it now. It's fine. Actually, I have a 345 bookmarked on a auction website. It's not eBay, which is signed by Michael J. Fox, which is going for sale in a couple of weeks' time. And I think I'm going to bid for it. I don't know. I think I'm going to bid for it. The value is actually, it's a custom, I think it's a custom shop. ES345, which is the guitar he uses in the movie. And it's not the guitar, it's a 2015, so it's not the guitar he used in the movie, but it's the same model. And yeah, it'd be cool if I get it. The estimate is like cheaper than an ES345 custom shop, so it'd be very cool to get it for a lot cheaper than you can buy one. But so yeah, what did you think of it? I have to know now that you've just seen it. Person I work with, she and I are like both Back to the Future geeks, so yeah, we're always like throwing back and forth Back to the Future references in our Slack channel and work, and other people get kind of pissed off with it, so they anyways, it's all fun and games. Scott says, how do you feel about them, Todd? Do you really feel about them? It's a good question. Nella Emma says, oops, just joining. Cheers all. Good to see you, Nella. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping in. And yeah, no worries. Whatever time you get here, it's always good to see you drop into the chat. Ryan says, Prince was insanely good. I like Kingfish too. We'll check his Thrill Is Gone cover. Prince was insanely good. I think a lot of people overlook Prince for some reason, but yeah, he's fantastic. Benny says to Todd, yeah, it should have his live wires or his passive signature set. I mean, signature models without the right pickups are just not right, are they? That's my opinion. That's why I had such an issue with the Pro Bookers being in the Slashes Epiphones. Todd says, to be honest and fair, GVF's guitar player is sharp and figuring out that old Led Zeppelin sounds great played on an SG. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I've never really listened to them that much, but when I have heard them, I've been like, oh wait, this sounds like Zeppelin or something. So there you go. Marsh says, Todd, Fishman's that bad. I've always heard great things about Fluen's pickups. Fishman acoustic pickups are incredible and produce the most natural tone. Why don't you like them, dare I ask? This could get rough. But like a lot of things in the guitar world, some people love certain things and some people hate other things. There's always fans of something who really dislike other things. And like I think we all have those things. For me, I love Gibsons and I hate Gibsons. It's Mark Agnesi's fault. Al says, anyone ever hear Lou Reed's, can't even speak, man. Lou Reed's live version of Sweet Jane? Guitar intros are killer. I don't think I have, Al, but I'll have to look out for it. Dave Lewis says, to Glenn, I bought an Epiphone Firebird a few weeks ago from Kelly's in Scotland, £449, including free FedEx, postage and packaging. Nobody had any then at a good price. That sounds cool. Yeah, I'll be looking at Colin's video tomorrow and I know I'm going to want to buy one because that's what he does. He makes you want to buy guitars. Ryan says, I saw Slash's Snake Pit when I was 19. Very cool. Yeah, I dig some of their stuff. It's daily that I'm listening to the Snake Pit stuff, along with other Slash materials. Scott says, anyone else miss the frequency test tone at the beginning of cassette tapes? No. Glenn asking Dave, how is the Epi Firebird? I'm sure it's great. Ryan says, yeah, Scott, it just doesn't feel the same. I mean, you guys are different. But I love you. I love you both. I love you all. Todd says Martian Fishman pickups are too sensitive to movement and they will change sound dramatically if you touch them at all. So there you go. Marcia says, Dave Lewis, I'd love a Firebird, probably my second pick after an LP. Interesting. Yeah, not bad. Nella says, Glenn, I have the Epi Firebird. It's great in my opinion. There you go. Yeah, lots of people love them. Glenn says, don't worry, Dave. I have enough posters and shit all over my room for all of us. There you go. Glenn looking out for all of us, which I appreciate. And Marcia says, Todd, yeah, that could be a problem. There's no way to adjust the sensitivity by tweaking the electronics, ? And Todd is not aware of one. So there you go. Murphy's Flab is currently wiping down a white Strat. Enjoy. And Ryan's doing the same. That's weird. Marcia says, or maybe with a pedal, Todd, like EQ or something, compressor. That's what it says. Nella says, or Glenn says to Nella, thanks for the input. I've been looking at the Epiphone Firebirds, but Colin's got me looking harder and I don't have any place nearby to try. Colin does that. He makes you want to buy guitars. He's great. Todd says, Marshall, just buy pickups that don't that don't sound bad. Or that don't do that even. There we go. Yeah, that's a good idea. Buy pickups that don't do that. So I agree. Murphy's Fab says, Ryan, mine is slowly turning piss yellow. Interesting. On many fronts. Ryan says, Firebirds are feel too offset for me, like a bass. I wouldn't buy one without trying it. It's like everything is shifted over 6 inches. Yeah. I haven't actually played a Firebird myself, so I know I'm going to want to once what's his name, Colin's video is over tomorrow, but we'll see. They should make a Slash EDS 1275 Epiphone. Expensive Epiphones. Yeah, it's probably part of the plan. Who knows? I can see that being one of the more expensive ones if they do it, for sure. Daniel says, I hope PRS makes its telly available to the public soon. It'll be cool. I know Miles Kennedy has said that he doesn't think it's going to be made public anytime soon. But he has also said, I can't talk about it yet. So we will see. If they're going to do it, they'll make an announcement end of January at some point, I think. They might be trying to run it past all their legal departments and stuff, not wanting to get sued again by Gibson. But we will see. There's a lot of things to go. But from what I'm seeing of it, it's not technically. It's kind of telly shaped, but not really, and it doesn't have like telly style pickups or anything. So they should be okay. So yeah, I do hope they do it, but we'll see. We'll see. I think as well they were put it out. They let Miles take it on tour with him to see what happens, see what people thought of it. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if there's some testing going on there. Anthony says, does Michael J. Fox's autograph just look like an out of control scribble? I mean, it does look like he's only learning, but it's because Anthony. Good one. I like it. Marcia says, that's a good point, Ryan. People with Firebirds always say you have to get used to the neck being shifted over about 6 inches. It's not for everyone. Probably like playing a bass neck. A little bit like playing a flying V when you're sitting down with it. You got to move everything. Move yourself and get into position. It's fun, though. It's fun. And I do like it. And if Money H2O was here, he'd tell you he loves it, because he does. Al says to Daniel, I was watching that pedal show last night where Paul Reed Smith was on. At the end, he didn't say he had a prototype telly, but he did have a prototype for them to evaluate off camera. Interesting. Yeah. Well, Miles Kennedy had one on tour with him this summer, just gone. So we're all hoping it's going to come out. It'll be pretty cool. Let's see. Richard says, that's a pretty crappy thing to say, T-Ball. All in good jest. That's all it was, I'm pretty sure. Ryan says, yeah, that 345 was sick. I love the movie. Watching 2 tonight. 2 was my favorite movie for a long time. I think the first one is the best movie probably, but I was like blown away when I was like 7 when I saw Back to the Future 2 for the first time, and like all the future stuff was amazing. Like all the flying cars and the hoverboards and the PRS. I didn't know it was a PRS at the time. But yeah, there's a PRS custom 22 in there to look out for, and also Flea is in there to look out for as well, which is fun. Needles, there you go. Al says, I get Dan and Mick mixed up. I mean, who doesn't? T-Ball says, I'll get a Prince signature guitar. Is it called a Mad Cat? Yeah, I think it's called a Mad Cat, right? Something like that. And Scott says, is it a long neck solved by a non-reverse body? Is this long neck solved by a non-reverse body? I am not sure. That is something I guess you'd have to know by holding in the hand. T-Ball says, yeah, no, Richard, sometimes I lose control. Indeed. Hey, occasionally we all throw in an inappropriate joke. It's all good. Ryan says, no, the Firebird bridge is in the middle of the guitar and the neck extends further out. The offset makes it worse. There you go. That explains it pretty well. Mad Cat Telly is one of my favorite guitars. That's from Scott. Not a bad one. Todd Moore says, gotta drop out, folks. Thanks, Dave. Always a good time here. Peace and love, TCD family. Until next week, take care. Yeah, you take care of yourself, Todd. Be well. I am always glad to see you. Let me see. We get lots of folks saying good luck to Todd. Murphy's Flab says, Purple Rain is much better than Golden Shower. Yeah. Scott says, before it's over, thanks for everything, Dave. Your show is the best way to spend Saturday evening. Cheers, man. I appreciate that, Scott. That's super cool of you to say that. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's awesome. Dave Lewis says, the Arctic Monkeys are on the Jonathan Was show tonight. Poor Jonathan Was. He's a good guy. Scott Bogwood says, Purple Rain, great. I've never seen the movie. Yeah, me neither, actually. But there you go. Mark says, Scott, are you trying to tell Dave to cut it early? He's always trying to get me to finish early. Actually, don't blame him. It's all good. No, guys, it's super cool. I appreciate Scott being super cool and looking after us on the mod situation as well. Al says, check out how much in Back to the Future 2 did come out. Cubs World Series winner, Vietnam, a vacation spot to name 2. Cubs win was 1 year off. Indeed. Yeah, they got quite a lot right. And like even things like video calls, that was quite popular by 2015 as well. Yeah, all kinds of things. So I'm glad they were off with some things, but you know, they hit a lot of things quite right as well, didn't they? Scott says 48 likes. Indeed. Yeah, we didn't get to 64, unfortunately. So, Glenn, I can't go looking for my screwdriver, but hey, it's all good. Right, still no hoverboards, though. No, they tried to call these things with wheels hoverboards. Nonsense. Anyway. Glenn says, I like Back to the Future 3. I have a soft spot for it. I really do. Because ZZ Top's appearance is kind of funny. And yeah, I like it a lot. And also like the really bad Irish accents. I think that's hilarious. I always enjoy that. Daniel says, well, time to pop a top. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been super cool to have you in the chat. Anthony says, I'll always get attitude when I finish early. Cheers to you, sir. I enjoyed that one. Well, guys, it's been a good one. I thank you so much for joining me for 3 Chord Dave live tonight. I love seeing you guys every week. It's super cool. We hang out and have a great chat, and loads of chats about guitars and all kinds of other things, which is cool. Don't forget to check out the videos that come out each week. I'm hoping to have 2 new videos this week for you, so keep an eye on the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Choose all notifications. If you want to do the Patreon thing, it's there for you, and all the videos and stuff like that, so don't forget to check it out. I will be adding stuff to it from this week, so make sure if you want to sign up, you can. And don't forget, just going to throw it out one more time, you can get this mug. It takes 3 months of being a member. You get this super cool mug, and just in time for Christmas. Anyway, guys, it's super cool. I did see one question pop up from Dave Lewis there. Are you going to do a tour of your guitars before 2023? Maybe. It's an idea. Yeah, I could do that. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been super cool to see all of you there. Take care of yourselves. I will be back next week or very soon, with another guitar related video. And until then, take care. Oh, that's supposed to fill the whole screen. Damn.